Every time a company brings on a new employee, the financial meter starts running. Before a hire produces value, they consume hours of onboarding, training, and management oversight. Economists call this the productivity gap, and for a small business, it requires significant upfront capital. Many justice-involved adults represent a motivated labor pool looking to bridge that gap. Research from the Wisconsin Department of Corrections shows many participants actively pursue vocational skills and education while incarcerated, preparing specifically for this transition. Despite that preparation, employers face three concrete friction points: the high cost of specialized training, the perceived liability of a criminal record, and the fear of losing their total investment if the hire fails early on. Consider a scenario where a third party covers half of a new hire's payroll for their first 4 months on the job. To address the liability concern, that same third party provides a $5,000 insurance policy against employee dishonesty at no cost to the company. This cross-sector partnership is the engine behind Wisconsin's Community Corrections Employment Program, or CCEP. It links state resources directly to private sector hiring needs. CCEP is a structural tool designed to align the goals of community rehabilitation with a business's operational budget. The process begins with an on-the-job training contract. The employer commits to hiring a participant in a permanent role at a competitive wage. This document highlights the primary incentive. For the first 120 days of employment, the state reimburses the company for 50% of their hourly wages. This chart illustrates how these layers lower the financial barrier to hiring. The wage subsidy handles the payroll, while the federal fidelity bond provides 6 months of coverage for up to $5,000 in the event of employee dishonesty. Employers can also apply for the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, a federal incentive that can further reduce their income tax liability by up to $2,400 per eligible hire. To keep the process manageable, CCEP coordinators handle the pre-certification of new hires, which reduces the administrative burden and paperwork for the employer. By covering half the payroll during the first 120 days, the state absorbs the steepest part of the training costs, making the onboarding period more economically sustainable for the business. The CCEP playbook allows businesses to build their workforce while the state subsidizes the initial costs of entry. Restoring Hope Ministries in Green Bay has developed a proposal that illustrates how an organization can layer these incentives into a high accountability hiring model. This timeline shows a two-stage approach. RHM utilizes an initial 120-day host training period to verify a participant's skills and workplace ethics before a permanent hire is ever made. During these first 4 months, participants complete a core academic curriculum at a 90% discount. This allows the ministry to evaluate their reliability and classroom performance before moving to the next stage. Once a participant proves their competency, RHM moves to a permanent hire. This triggers the CCEP 50% wage reimbursement, supporting the employee as they move into their official role. The RHM plan is highly specific, assigning participants to roles in IT support or scheduling, with clear requirements for cybersecurity and multi-factor authentication. While traditional hiring is often a singular event, this 8-month arc uses state support to ensure the employee is fully trained and vetted before the subsidy ends. The RHM model serves as a blueprint for organizations that want to use state incentives to secure long-term employee retention. The 50% subsidy buys the employer time. It provides a 4-month buffer for an employee to learn specific workflows and adapt to the company culture without the business carrying the full payroll burden. This financial cushion allows managers to shift their focus toward long-term training rather than immediate high-pressure productivity. Because the fidelity bond addresses the specific concern of theft or dishonesty, the employer can evaluate the hire based on their actual work performance. These blocks reflect the shift in logic. The subsidy creates a window where a new hire can demonstrate the reliability needed for a permanent career. When the financial barriers are mitigated by state and federal support, hiring from this talent pool becomes a calculated business decision. CCEP provides a framework that supports community reintegration through a documented model of cost reduction and risk mitigation for employers.